Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Arknights reaction. Today we have From Ash to Fire. This is apparently the theme for The Racist, so I'm just gonna start with the song, hear what it has to offer, and I don't have any other context. So without further ado, let's go! And just in case you were wondering, yes, I know how to say his name, but I had you go in there, didn't I? Ooh, starting ominous. Organ. It felt like it was gonna have an organ. That it did. Dipping our toes into that gothic glory.
Come and
I liked that note, the lift onto when she said rise. Suspense? That must be The Racist. I'm not gonna make the joke again, I promise. Visual hints to his story makes things a little easier for me. God, this has a lot of dark presence to it. It's so ominous, every aspect of it. The tension in the percussion especially. It sounds like Elden Ring, Dark Souls. It has a very similar sound to it. Ooh. That was just a really good chord. God. Ooh, I love this. That simple standard rhythm. Nothing fancy about it, raw. Just keeping the beat. Kind of sounds like feet stomping. Sort of militant in a way. Is that the end? Man. This one had quite a few hints in the visuals, so I was able to kind of confirm some thoughts just by watching the video as the song went. The first thing I noticed about this character in the thumbnail was that he reminded me a lot of Teresa, and I know Teresa as a character because she's come up multiple times at this point, almost to the point where I was like, are they related? I'm assuming that's the case now, especially with her appearing in the video. I'm assuming brother and sister. That would make sense. They look a little too alike to not be related in some way. I would almost say like father or something, but he seems too young. He seems too close visually to Teresa for me to think of him as anything but. So I'm going to go with a sibling, not a father-daughter situation. But the other characters that were on screen with him at the beginning made me think of a different part of his story, because you have a bunch of characters and then they one by one disappear. Makes you feel like like, yeah, he was probably a part of some group, some, collective of knights or whatever that were protecting people, and one by one they all fell and he was the last remaining one. And maybe from there he decided that he's going to protect the only thing he's got left, so that's why his sister appears in the video. That would make sense. So maybe he's like her personal bodyguard at this point. All these things are pretty obvious, but there is this constant sense of duty in this song. Not a single part of this song didn't feel like there was a heavy resolve to it. Everything was just laid out completely flat. It did have some energy in the middle there. It did grow into something, but I think that's more or less his resolve itself, just being shown and manifested in this way. And of course, as I mentioned as well, the song itself is just littered with oppression. The entire thing has a presence of looming distaste, disdain. There's a flavor constantly present in the song that he's not happy with who he is, what he's doing, the situation he's a part of. This entire thing feels like there is a pressure above him constantly bearing down, and he's not really happy with it. He's just doing things and going through the motions to protect those he loves and maybe the one last person he knows he loves, and just committing to that despite not really being a fan of that being the only choice he has. There is this sense to me that he's lost everything. This entire song had that presence to it. There wasn't a single moment in this song where I was like, oh, hey, there's a happy chord. There were major chords in here. There was stuff that would traditionally be associated with happiness or bright, fulfilling sounds, something that's a little bit more jovial, but it didn't really play out that way because it was surrounded with so much other oppressive sounds. It was just kind of tied in, and the majors were more or less just accents to all of the minors and the negativity in this song. It wasn't a happy piece. I'm insanely confident, more than usual, about like my guesses of who this character is and how the story went. Yes, the visuals there did kind of spell it out for me. It definitely helped with seeing the people disappear and Teresa show up, but I don't know like what he was looking at. Like, what was that shape in the sky at that one point where he was like looking up at it? Like, what is that? Is that something that's related to the way he feels? Is that a corruption situation? Like, is that something that symbolizes that he is going to turn to an evil side because he's constantly being pressured and pressed down, and eventually that's going to break you? I don't know if he's already confronted that in the story or if that's something that they're kind of getting at here. Maybe he turns into a boss character or something and you have to basically fight him out of that. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case, but again, it's so hard for me to like do much more when it comes to this one as far as analytical stuff, because I'm extremely confident that that's what the story is. It's just negativity 100%, and this dude, just his expression, is the face of somebody who has grown so apathetic to the situation that he is just filled with a sense of duty and he knows nothing else. That's who he is. He is the sword he wields. He has no other opinions and no other thoughts, really. And that sucks because you know that he could have, or he used to maybe. Maybe before, when those other people were around, he was happy. Usually they would show that stuff visually when there is a story change like that. So I assume he's always kind of been this stoic sort of character, but at the same time, you wonder what could have been. And that's kind of where I'm sitting here. Like, I'm hearing this song being so oppressive and not having any wiggle room for happiness or joy, and seeing this dude just kind of standing firm through all of it. He doesn't really move. Even in the video itself, he'll turn around to look up at that thing. I think that was the only time I saw him from a different angle. So it's like, this dude is just standing here. He is a pillar of duty and responsibility, and he knows nothing else, and I feel like that's his whole thing. I also think that the subtlety of just him closing his eyes as those people disappeared in that is basically all the time he was able to have to grieve and process. Basically none. Like, he cannot waver, but he can still be sad. So I feel like there is just an inkling of a character in there that wants to be free of what cards he's been dealt in life, but he can't be. And that's why he's still standing here like this. Again, this is really spelling it out for me. This is one of the easiest ones I've ever had to do and guess about the character. I'm so confident in my thoughts on this. I'm legitimately willing to like put money where my mouth is. Like I would bet money that that's his character, that these people who maybe he once worked with died during battle, during their duty. He was kind of left alone and he picked the only thing he had left, which was, I assume, to be his sister. And now he's basically just working for her, and maybe against his personal choices or better judgment has had to do things that he doesn't like and is still in this stoic, consistent mood of nothingness. He is the embodiment of apathy, but also a pillar of duty and responsibility that he will never see the freedom from because he is trapped in that cycle and there is just no evading that. And I feel like even he's forgotten who he was, you know. It just, this song is so obvious, but in the coolest way. I love that this song just imbues itself with this energy of apathetic duty, responsibility, and oppressive force that you cannot get away from. There is no wiggle room in this. It starts ominous, it ends ominous, and somewhere in the middle, there is this aggressive pump of, you have to do this. This is you. And there's nothing else to it. This is a very straightforward track, but I love it when they do that because it makes my job a little bit easier. And with that said, I think I'll call it here. This one's probably going to be pretty short, but like I said, fairly easy for me to pick apart, but I hope that doesn't bother people too much. If you have anything else you want me to get to from Arknights, by all means, drop it in the comments below and I'll do my best as always to get to it. And if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!